Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. It's Anna with you here, of course, and today we are on our lovely Levante Beach and we're gonna be filming from here our latest news and update on the situation in our lovely and sunny Spain. So let's go. Probably before we start the news, I would like to say hi to David and his lovely wife. They are my subscribers. They've been here on the channel for quite a while. And I've accidentally met them yesterday in Albir while I was walking with my family. A lovely couple. Thank you for watching once again. Thank you for being here on the channel, and it was really lovely to meet you finally. And now let's start with the news. The situation is getting even more stable, if it's even possible. In the last 24 hours, we've had 3,432 new cases. And the index is still getting lower, and during the last 24 hours it went down by 3 points, and right now it's already 101 cases per every 100,000 of people living here. Andalusia, South Spain, is sadly still one of the worst regions in terms of new cases registered, and they have the index of 184. The La Rioja, which is on the north part of Spain, it has 177, and País Vasco, which is also north, together with Navarra, have 139 and 115. The rest of autonomic regions and communities here in Spain have the index less than 100, which is just amazing news for us. The vaccination is getting full speed. Per one day, approximately, they're vaccinating more or less 600,000 people, which is quite a lot. In general, what I want to say is that we already have some news about the masks. What is happening basically is that a lot of different regions, they were asking the government to finally give the date when this will be finally over, when we'll be able to walk without a mask, an obligatory mask on the open air areas like streets, parks, terraces, simply the beach area, for example, or some kind of parks, natural parks. Everything that is considered open air in general. So the end of the mask here in Spain is still being somehow shady. It's not something that has a specific date. And the government has finally replied. And what they said was that they want to give slightly more time for the situation to be even more stable. They want to continue the vaccination process, the massive vaccination process, and they want to wait a little bit more to reassure themselves that there's not going to be any increase in cases and that the situation will not get worse from one day to another. What they say is basically that they already know when it's going to happen, and this will happen very, very soon, but they cannot give the exact date just in case something happens and they will not be able to implement this new measure on time. A lot of the autonomic regions, for example, support this measure, and for Madrid, Galicia and País Vasco, they support the government, and they say that we should be very careful with taking the obligatory mask out of our lives, even though it's going to be only on the open air, but still. It's a measure that we've been having for a long time, and it helped us a lot. But right now, if it's going to disappear, we have a high risk of getting backwards and getting high numbers once again, and queues in the hospitals and a lot of people being in a very bad situation. The rest of the autonomic regions, apart from these three, they support Valencian region, Barcelona, which wants to eliminate masks on the open air as soon as possible in our region. Well, we'll see what's going to happen. They all were saying it's going to be end of June, beginning of July. Probably it is going to be like this, but the government does not want to give the exact date, at least so far. If we'll know some more information, I'm definitely going to let you know about it. The interesting news, what's happening in general in Spain, is that a lot of people are migrating towards other smaller cities or towards the coastal areas. For example, Madrid and Barcelona. Last year, the worst year probably of the pandemics here in Spain in general, they've lost 60,000 of legal residents in these areas, and they went to other regions, for example, to coastal areas, as I've already mentioned. This was the highest historical drop in the amount of residents ever known here in Spain. And why this was basically happening? This was happening due to pandemics because people were afraid to live in big cities. They wanted to live somewhere outside, even if it's in the same region like Madrid, but it's not in the city itself, it's somewhere outside, where you can have, for example, a small house or a small garden, somewhere you can go outside and breathe the open air, just in case we're going to be locked down. Although it's not going to be the case already, because we are far more advanced with the vaccination right now and things are getting stable, but still, you never know what's going to happen in life. No one expected this thing will come to us and the world will change drastically, but it happens. So people are thinking in the future in general already, and they are just willing to have more free space, more open space in their life, and don't want to stay in the big cities anymore. This is why, for example, here in our Valencian region, Benidorm, Alicante, and Valencia in general, for the 6th year already in a row, we are summing up residents, and they are only increasing in our region. This is happening in the last few years also because a lot of people are working from home, which is called teletrabajo here in our country, which basically means that you work, but you work at home or from the bar, from the beach, doesn't matter, anywhere you can work, but basically you don't work in the office at your usual workplace. So a lot of people kept this opportunity to work at home. They didn't come back to the offices, to their usual workplace, and this is why they can allow themselves to stay wherever they want. They can move to the beach areas, to the coastal areas, even to Benidorm if they want to. So they have a lot more flexibility to choose where they want to live, and they are moving, for example, to their second residence homes, which are like holiday home that they have on the coast, and they are just living here, enjoying the nice weather and working at the same time. Why not if you can do it? And in Sevilla, for the first time since 2018, their amount of legal residents is also increasing, which shows that people are just looking for more quality. They're looking for a better positive life, for better weather. They are just watching for what they want for themselves more than for their job, as they used to do before. Before, people used to go to big cities to search for job opportunities and just to live somewhere where you can have everything near you. But right now, people just realize that it's better to live somewhere in a smaller area, or maybe even outside of the city, but have your own bigger private space, your home where you can have enough space to go outside, have your own garden or a big terrace where you can spend some time. Which is why the habits in general, how people feel and what they think about the houses, about the area where they live, it's changing drastically. The next news that I wanted to let you know about is what's happening with the tourism. As you all might know already, UK once again has mentioned that in the next 4 weeks they're not going to change the Spain for the green light. It's still going to be in the amber color, which means that still quarantine, still 2 PCR tests. We all know it already. But in general, in Spain and in our region, in Benidorm specifically, what's happening is that the reactivation of tourism is still here and it's still happening, although we don't receive that many British tourists so far, as you all might know. During the weekend, the average, in all the hotels that are open right now, the occupancy is of 85%, but this is on weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. During the week, this percentage drops, but not a lot, until between like 50 and 59%, which is also very good, taking into consideration that Benidorm basically lives and exists due to British tourism. But right now, the city in general, the hotels are centered more into national tourism and tourism from our neighbors from Portugal. They also love to come to these coastal areas, which is basically the strategy right now, because we cannot do anything with the British tourism, sadly. Some people are coming, yes, the ones who don't mind to stay in quarantine afterwards or do the testing, but the others just simply cannot afford to spend the extra money and take out the extra 10 days of their work, which means of their salary as well. And this is basically what's happening. What about the British tourism? What's happening with the people who already have booked a place, who already have booked their holidays and have a hotel? Well, the majority of them are actually transferring their holidays once again for probably maybe 5th, 6th, 7th time. I don't even know how many times a lot of people have transferred their holidays for the future, hoping for the best, sadly, but it's true. And these tourists basically are postponing their holidays for early autumn, which is basically September, like September, beginning of October, more or less. And on these dates, a lot of hotels are fully booked, but this is like false full booking, because these are only bookings that were transferred for these dates, but no one knows what's going to happen. No one knows if people will be able to come, if then we'll be already on the green light, if there's not going to be any restrictions like quarantine and stuff like that. So no one knows what's going to happen. We are just hoping for the best, and we are living month by month in terms of the hotel workers and general hotel business. We are just seeing what is happening and reacting every week by week, slowly, with the numbers and with the information we are given. But so far, a lot of tourists are postponing it until September or October. Sadly, this is the case. Another thing that I wanted to discuss with you about is very interesting information. As some of you might know, I have another channel, which is a Russian channel, where I also give some news which Russian-speaking people are interested about, and I also talk about the situation here in Spain, some informative videos as well. So I received one comment there that basically was saying that I'm not gonna put it here because it doesn't make any sense why to do this, but it's just a comment that basically says that here in Spain all people are working illegally, that people are suffering, they are being like slaves, you know, basically here, and no one has a legal contract, no one has some taxes being paid, so basically everything is so awful, people are suffering, they don't have holidays for like a lot of years in a row, they're working 24 hours and stuff like that. This person was referring basically to the nannies, to the au pair nannies, which are living in your house and taking care of the house, making the food, bringing up children to school, picking them up and stuff like that, you know. And this question made me think of how wrong a lot of people are about what's happening here in Spain. What I wanted to say is that here all the normal jobs, like every job is normal, don't get me wrong, but all the jobs that you have that companies offer you are all 100% legal. No company, 100% sure, guaranteed by me, will not take you for illegal job, because fines are so high, so extremely high, they can even close the company because of that, if they will see that there's an illegal contract, illegal person working in the company, which is why companies don't do that. All the contracts are 100% legal. They pay your taxes to the Social Security, you get the Social Security medical card, you get all the rights that as a working person should be getting. The other thing is that even if you are working as au pair nanny, for example here, or like a home worker, someone who helps at home, a lot of families, and I know a lot of families here in Albier and in Benidorm that do this, and I know a lot of nannies as well, who always come to the park, to our park in Albier, so we usually talk to them and we got to know a lot of interesting things about it. They all have contracts, and these are nannies who, for example, are working 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and then they have a few months holiday, legal holiday. They're getting back to their country, helping their families with the money that they earned, and the other nanny is coming to substitute the existing one, and like this they rotate in time. They are all working with legal contracts. They're all being paid a Social Security and the monthly salary. They have holidays. They have 8 hours work day. No one is being treated here like a slave. There are maybe some families that choose not to make the contract for the person. But first of all, this can be mentioned to the policy and to the work inspection. And secondly, you can simply not agree for this. Like, no one says to you, no one forces you to agree for an illegal job. Especially, this is taken into consideration that you have legal documents here in Spain, okay? This is one thing. If you have legal documents, you can always choose what you can do. You can opt for the, you can choose the legal contract. If you don't want to stay illegal here, like working illegally, I mean, you can always search for another thing. Like, you shouldn't be just stuck in an illegal job where you don't have any rights at all. This was very shocking that these people were just saying that they were working for a lot of years in Spain illegally, that it is all basically and it's not okay, that Spain is treating all people illegally, that people don't have any social security and stuff like that. This is not true. This is just not true. It's your choice what to do with your life, especially if you have legal documents here and if you are a European Union citizen. You can work legally. If you don't want to, that's the choice of that person. The other thing is that if you don't have any documents here in Spain and you need somehow to earn for bread, for just to survive here, that's another thing. Then you might be forced to work illegally. I don't say if it's good or bad. This is not my decision to make. This is a decision of every person in general. But I know things like that exist. I know there are people illegally here until they get legal paperwork and they're forced to work like this. I know, but you just need, I feel that I need to tell you that it's not something you need to be comfortable with. It's not something that only for this you need to aspire. No, if you're living illegally, you can do this, but then try and legalize your situation. Try and get the paperwork, because all the normal jobs that are in the companies, they are legal. You can receive the social security, you can receive the medical like assistance, you can have all the rights that other people living here have. You just need to aspire for it. You just need to try and do so. This is what I wanted to say, because I felt that some people have a very wrong opinion about Spain, thinking that we are like a third world country where everything is illegal. There are a lot of immigrants that are working for 24 hours a day, which is not actually true. Sometimes some of them are, but this is due to their particular situation, because they don't have any documents at all, or this is because they desperately need money. But this is not the usual situation that we have here in the country. This is what I wanted to let you know about today. And what about the Spanish weather? Well, I must say that today it's quite cloudy here in Benidorm, but it's very warm, it's very nice. It's just amazing to stay outside without the sun just burning your skin, basically, because it was very hot the previous days. And today it's also actually very, very warm. It's just we don't have the direct sunshine. In the rest of Spain, there's going to be some rain in the center and the north part of Spain, but the rest is going to be quite stable. Tomorrow, the rain will come to almost all areas of Spain, as you can see on this second map. Probably even here to the Mediterranean area, but I don't think it should be. I don't think it's going to be raining here in Benidorm, because usually the mountains that surround our area protect us quite a lot from the rain. So hopefully it's not going to be raining, but even if it will, it's going to be a nice warm summer rain. So it's also a good option for us. This is going to be in the morning, and from 12 on midday, these clouds and this rain will start going to the north part, and the sun will continue to shine. The temperatures slightly went down in the regions where it's going to be raining quite a lot. And in the center, it's expected to have between 22 and 31. In the north part of Spain, between 19 and 26. South part between 23 and 31. And Mediterranean area between 26 and 34. Today in our lovely sunny Benidorm, it's going to be 31 degrees, which is not a low amount. It's very, very warm, but very comfy as well, because the sun is not shining, as I've already said. In Barcelona, it's going to be 29, Granada 32, Malaga and Marbella 28, Sevilla 28, Madrid 30, Murcia 31, Balearic Islands 35. There's also a yellow alert due to high temperatures in Balearic Islands because all the warm air from Africa is going towards that side. This is why the temperatures are very high in there. Canarian Islands 25 and Valencia 29. And now I want to show you one thing. Some people asked me already about what's happening with the sunbeds and sun lounges here on the Levante Beach. And I must say that they are already here. They were not here in the previous days, but they've just brought them today. And I'm going to show you where they are located. So this right here in front is the beginning of the Levante Beach in the Rincon de Loit area. And as you can see, they've just brought here today the sunbeds. They're not even put in place. They are just looking like this right now, but probably starting from tomorrow you will have the sunbeds and the umbrellas here available for their use. The approximate price is around 4 or 5 euros for a sunbed for the whole day, and the price for the umbrella, if I'm not wrong, was approximately 3 euros last year. But in any case, as soon as I'm gonna know the exact prices, I'm gonna definitely let you know about them. Thank you all for watching today's news and the latest update on the situation here in Spain. My dears, I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, don't forget to put a like and subscribe to the channel if you still didn't do so. We are already 1700. This is amazing number. I didn't expect that we will be growing. Our YouTube community will be growing so much, but thank you all for making this possible and making this happen. I wish you a very lovely, nice and positive day of today, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow with a new video from our lovely Benidorm as usual. Bye everyone.